7 bone broth benefits coming up next. Hi, my friends, it's Elizabeth with Abundant Apartment Lifestyles, where all things abundant meet apartment living. And on today's episode, we're gonna do 7 bone broth benefits for you that are gonna help your body, help get you energized, and help you have abundant living. But first, if you find this video helpful, smash that like button, click subscribe, and check out our playlist for Abundant Apartment Lifestyles. Let's dive into our bone broth conversation. First, this video is sponsored by the amazing Fond Bone Broth. I will have a link in the description for you if you wanna get set up on auto ship of having this beautiful bone broth shipped directly to your home with no schlepping, no cooking. You can literally just take it out of the box and start consuming it. I will link that down in the description link below. Okay, let's dive into tip number 1. The bone broth benefits bone broth is nutritious. If you don't know, now you're gonna know. Is the bone broth ingredients, particularly the reason why I like Fond Bone Broth is I've personally made at home bone broth in my Instapot, on the stove, in the slow cooker, and y'all, it just didn't taste very good to me. Bone broth made by Fond, I love a lot. I like the ingredients. I like the different flavors that they have. They have a diverse amount of flavors. So bone broth benefit number 1 is going to be, it's nutritious, right? Bone broth is made out of bones, whereas stock, like chicken stock, beef stock, that's made out of actual meat. Bone broth made out of bones, and with that is the nutrients that come from being made out of the bones. For example, minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus. It's very, very nutritious elements for our bodies. Our body, different bodily functions need those nutrients, right? And so having this is a gentle way on our body system to get those extra nutrients through having bone broth. I like Fond Bone Broth because their ingredients are squeaky clean and it's easy with their different recipes that they have. They have tons of different ones. Youth Tonic is actually my favorite bone broth flavor they do have, but you can have in there different elements also to enhance the flavoring, but the nutrition component is bone broth benefit number 1 is that you're getting extra nutrients for your body that you may not consume, right? So bone broth benefit number 2 is the weight loss component. This is a weight loss aid for me, at least. I've lost 79 pounds through keto, through intermittent fasting, and during my eating windows, I consume bone broth. I love it as a weight loss tool or weight loss aid because of the protein in it. For example, Fond Bone Broth, 1 cup of it has 10 grams of protein in the Conductor Bone Broth ones. Different ones, let's see here. So this one, for example, is Youth Tonic. In terms of protein, 10 grams in the Youth Tonic. For Inside Job, grams of protein, also 10 grams of protein in there per 1 cup. That is a lot of protein, which is really, really filling. If I on the weight loss journey as a weight loss tool, it's been very helpful to pour this in my apartment. I'll pour 2 cups of this into a pot, stir it around, heat it up on warm heat, and then I'll start consuming it like coffee. I'll put it in a coffee mug and sip on it throughout the eating window that I do have. And so with that, having 10 grams of protein per serving, I usually have 2 cups of it at a time. That's for my body. You do what's best for your body. It's 20 grams of protein, which is very filling. So I end up eating less portions of other types of foods. So for me, this is an awesome weight loss tool, weight loss aid, and having bone broth it's another benefit is weight loss for me has worked very well with Fond Bone Broth and bone broth in general to help aid in weight loss. Bone broth benefit number 3 is gut health. So many people these days are talking about gut health, but there's new studies, scientific studies coming out between the link with our gut to our brain of improving brain functions is improving gut health. And it has been proven that bone broth helps with our gut, right? If you're doing fasting or even if you're not doing fasting, consuming bone broth helps heal our gut lining, which is paramount because the gut helps with so many different things. The one that has triggered for me that I'm very excited about seeing in scientific studies is the correlation between gut and brain health. Of improving the gut helps improve brain functions. More is coming out on this information, more studies are being done, but on the cusp of knowing more about the gut and brain correlation, to me, it gets me very excited. So in terms for me, for apartment living, we're talking about abundant apartment lifestyles with having the bone broth, helping to heal the gut helps with other areas of life, helps make our other areas of our life more abundant and more enriched. Broth benefit number 4 is a sleep aid. Having bone broth helps for me with sleeping better. I find that if I've had a particularly stressful day or I'm on high energy, having some bone broth at night will help calm it down, somewhat kind of like warm milk type thing, but it's having a nice cup of warmed up bone broth helps take it down a notch. I don't know if it's the sipping component, helping with the gut health, but literally, or the combination of all of it. For me, it very much does help slow things down before I go to bed. If I'm needing something else to help take it down a notch to get better sleep, I have found bone broth benefit of being extra sleep aid for it. If I'm going to bed, it's something that I just kind of like a nightcap. It's a bone broth nightcap of taking the air out of the tires a little bit. Bone broth benefit number 5 is going to be I sip on bone broth and fun bone broth throughout the day like coffee. I've slowly, not fully weaned off, but slowly weaned off coffee because I found I got too jittery. Naturally, I am a very high energy person, and so having coffee would amplify that, but sometimes to the point of where I'd have too much coffee, and so I've switched over to having more bone broth, particularly fun bone broth, and it's helped take that jittery coffee effect of I can still get the effects of sipping on something that's soothing, that's comforting, but without having the jittery effects that coffee provides and that extra caffeine. Right? There's no caffeine in bone broth. And so being able to have this later at night or things like that, if I'm wanting to sip on something as opposed to eating something, has been very, very beneficial. I do like within the fun bone broth that I can get different packs in my monthly subscription too. Again, there's a sales link down in the description link below for you of where you can get different flavors shipped directly to your house on auto ship. So you don't even have to think about ordering it. It's just set up on auto ship. I like that it comes directly delivered to my apartment each time. And that many apartments are also now having where if you get food items shipped that they can put them into a refrigerated pantry, refrigerated area, storing area for you. So when you get your food product shipped, that is a great resource. So bone broth benefit number 6 is aiding in our digestion, right? If I compare bone broth or fun bone broth, particularly to eating other types of foods, this is way more gentler on my system, on my digestive tract and digestion in general, because it's the gelatinous fat, because of the nutrients, because it's a nice, warm, liquid, kind of very filling feeling that comes from having bone broth. But the point of the matter is it's helping digestion. It's not going to be something that's going to massively upset your tummy if you're doing intermittent fasting or not doing intermittent fasting, but it's gentle. It's an ease on the digestive tract that's very helpful versus some other foods that very much may aggregate and aggravate your digestive tract. And bone broth benefit number 7 is helping with joint health. I don't know if you're to the point in life of where you're thinking about joint health, depending on where you are, but bone broth, because it does have so much collagen in it, right? Because it's made from bones, not made from meat, it's made from the bones. The collagen that's coming from the bones in the bone broth helps with joint health massively. If you find you're having joint issues, try bone broth. That's my challenge for you. Try bone broth for 30 days and see how your body feels. I was blown away with all of the bone broth benefits that I had with weight loss and sleep and all of these other benefits I've discussed today of how helpful it was just within 30 days, within 4 weeks of literally having bone broth, having 1 jar of the fun bone broth per day, rocked my world. Rocked my world. Maybe you don't want to commit to having that every day. Maybe you have 1 cup per day. I like having at least 2 cups, if not more. Fun bone broth has become part of my lifestyle. Literally, either it's a lunch or a dinner for me, and very much helps me with intermittent fasting and all of the benefits with that. But benefit number 7 of bone broth benefits is joint health. If you're having joint issues, this with the collagen helps aid in joint health too. So if you're feeling cracking in your knees and things like that, or if you're having joint hand issues, this may be a very good resource for you to check. Obviously, I'm not a doctor for all of these things, so do check, with different medical things we've discussed today, check with your primary doctor. For me, this has been very much helpful in increasing my wellness. And the whole point here at Abundant Apartment Lifestyles is to have an abundant life and tips and tools for us to live at a higher level of living through apartment living. So I would highly recommend go down in the description link below, get on auto ship, order 3 cases on auto ship for you. I love that this is made in San Antonio, Texas. It's run by a family run business, which very much motivates me to support small family businesses. And the ingredients are so wonderful. So wonderful. And having it shipped directly to my house for no schlepping, extra added bonus. If If you found this video helpful, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you click subscribe, and also check out our playlist down below for other abundant apartment living videos that we do have, and make sure you get on auto ship with fond bone broth down in the description link below. Make it a powerful day, my friends. Bye, guys.